So now let me just make comment these two. Okay. At a certain time interval, yeah. While timeout will wait for a certain amount of time before triggering the function that is meant to trigger. Okay. So now let's say for instance now we create a set interval method now. Set timeout method. Okay. So now in the set timeout method now, normally if we want to create a function, a callback function will be like this index, right? Using ESs. Yes, you understand. So we just use it as a function, the command. The next thing will now be the time. Okay. You were not here when we did treated methods. Okay, let me use. When we talk about a method is a method in JavaScript. Method, we call this fourth name function. Then you give it a name, any name of your choice. Open the parenthesis and open the curly brace. Now this is a method now. Anything you do here will be triggered. You understand? Now this same thing now is the old pattern of JavaScript, of which if we want to do this same thing now in the EXE version, we'll declare this. Okay, let me just call the method a name now. For instance, I said this is my method, for instance. Okay. And I say, what will the method do? Let's say the method is to alert something. Okay, let's say hello, for instance. Okay, so since this method is alerting something, now if I want to do this same method using the exe syntax, I will simply say let my method, okay, be equal to a parenthesis, an arrow function, and a curly brace. This thing here now and this thing here now are the same thing. Okay, so just different versions of JavaScript. One is ES5, the other one is EX6. You understand? Mhm. So with this now, these two functions are the same thing now. Okay. Now, when you're calling a function, normally you call the function by its name. That means I want to call this my method now. I'll simply say my method like this. Call it by its name. Okay. Now, why we're calling it like this now is because we gave it a name, and since we gave it a name, it will wait for the name to be called before it will trigger what it's supposed to do. Okay. Let's just call this my method one. Let's call this my method two. Then let's trigger method one. Okay. So which one? Which one? Yes, this is normal calling. This is the normal way, whether the EX6 or ES5. This is how you call a method. You call the method by its name. Okay? Yes, to trigger the method, you just call the name. Okay, let's say hello method 2. Okay, so hello method 2. So if we have method 1, method 2 now I'm calling method 1 here now. So when I call method 1 now, okay, we are in class 5. I'm going to remove this thing, so I just want to use it to explain that thing very well. Okay, so class 5.html. Okay, since my example is not on, okay, so okay. So now that my example is on, let's try it again. Local host my class photo. So see method 1 is being called. Okay, so assuming I didn't call method 1 here, nothing will happen, nothing will trigger, nothing happens, nothing triggers. Okay, so now if I uncomment this and I call method 2, you see that there's no difference. The same way I'll, I'll call both of them. Method 2 triggered. Okay, so that is just it. So these different ways of creating method in EX5 and EX6. If you watch from the class where we did the method, you see that I commented, I think that should be class 1. Okay, you can see I wrote it here, ECMA script version 5, ECMA script version 6. See how it is. Okay, so due to this now, what we will need to do, yeah, what we need to do here now is I want to show you in the case of triggering this method inside an event, you don't need a name because the major reason why you need the name is to determine where you are going to trigger with here like this now. Okay, so if you want to call a function within an event, you don't need a name to call it. Let's say I have an event like add event listener like this now. Okay, uh-huh. So if I add event listener, let's assume I'm adding a click event here. Okay, so what I'll do is, except if I have a named function already that I want to call, I can just call it straight, straight up like this. Okay, but if I want to perform the function, maybe I don't have any function I want to call. Okay, instead of me using a name to declare a function as it's like this, like let's say for instance I copy this function like this now. This is a normal function using ES5 now. Paste it on it. You see how it is. Okay, this one now is wrong because you are doing what the function is supposed to do within the event. So because of that now, you don't need a name for it. So just like this. You understand? So this one now, you are not calling it anywhere. So you are just saying that immediately you see this click event, perform this function. So you don't need a name for it. Okay? So in the same way, that is how, assuming we are using the EXIS pattern, for instance. Okay, sorry. Let me delete up to this point. Assuming we want, using the ES6 pattern, we simply do, let me copy this here now to be like this. You understand? But since we don't need a name for it, no need to declare this. That was what I did before. You see how it is now? Okay. Okay, I'm making video for it. Okay. It's just your equal to and greater than. Yes. Okay. So this same way of declaring this function like this now. Let me remove all these things. They are there in your class 1. Examples are here, though we're going to work more on functions later. So I just want to show you now the function on the set timer is just like an event now. You understand? Because I told you that time is measured in milliseconds. Uh-huh. So the function, what you want it to do, and the time. Okay. So what you want it to do now inside the function now will be this. Okay, I just open up this so that the code will be clearer because I can still write it in the same line. Okay, so let's just say we want it to alert after 3 seconds. Okay, so let's say uh, hello timed out. Okay, so if we do this, then we refresh our page, nothing happens. To wait for 3 seconds and trigger. You understand? So we click on this, it's gone. Do not come back again. You understand? Yeah. So that's for timeout. To wait for a particular period of time to, like, I don't know if I still have that program, uh, that quiz we used on that this thing. Uh, forgotten the name of tech. Tech everyone. So this raffle draw quiz we did now, for instance, this is just pure JavaScript now that happened here. Just that with a little of back-end PHP code. Yes, but it's pure JavaScript now. I start this now. Okay, I don't have any record in my database. It's not supposed to be running. Now when you stop it, to tell you know this thing. Okay. Now what's like when we're doing that game that day, somebody suggested that instead of clicking on stop, we can do something like set timeout 20 seconds. So immediately you start it like this. To wait till 20 seconds, then stop on its own. You understand? These are just simple logic. Very, very simple logic. It's timeout. If you want that thing to be reoccurring, use interval. You understand? So, but if you want it to just trigger that function after a particular amount of time, you use timeout. Like for instance, now, if we do this same thing now on interval, okay, we do the same thing now on interval. Let's say set interval, okay. So set interval of 3 seconds as well. I will do alert. Let's say hello at 3 seconds. Okay. Now, if we do this, now let's look at what will happen here. Okay. After 3 seconds, we have timed out. We have hello at 3 seconds. So hello at 3 seconds. Hello at 3 seconds. That is how it should just continue at interval of 3 seconds to be recording. Understand? So that is the difference between set timeout and set interval. Okay. So that is not the major thing we want to do for today. So now let's go to the major thing